This is known as the Abell 1201 BCG, Bright Cluster Galaxy. It's roughly around 2.7 billion light years away from planet Earth, but in this case this very bright galaxy also seems to act as a gravitational lens. Or basically it produces an Einstein ring, and it's actually sort of visible if you look at it really close. It basically sort of resembles an eye with an eyebrow. And as you might know from previous videos, this can only be produced by a very massive object in the middle, usually a really massive galaxy with a lot of dark matter, that's able to produce these effects that can then be used to determine the total mass. But completely by accident, the scientists studying this particular object discovered something else within it. They actually discovered another tiny arc. Or when analyzing this lensing effect, they discovered that something in here was not really adding up if it was just caused by the galaxy and nothing else. Something else really massive was at the center, creating additional shapes. Now, the original larger arc was discovered approximately 2 decades ago, back in 2003. But the smaller arc was discovered back in 2017 using additional observations, and it wasn't really clear what was causing it until the scientists decided to work this out by creating various computer simulations and by trying to recreate this from scratch by using a hypothetical scenario where there were different objects in the middle of this central galaxy. Basically, they tried to see if there's maybe a black hole that's really massive that's maybe forming this. So they started to modify various simulations based on the total mass of the black hole, and in the process they started to discover that this arc would actually change in shape if the black hole was of certain mass. Eventually they discovered that one sort of a black hole was producing exactly what they were observing. That black hole would have to be approximately 33.2 billion solar masses. Although it doesn't have to be a black hole, it just has to be something really massive and really compact right at the center of this galaxy. And that most likely is a black hole. There's really no other way to explain this. And so after hundreds of thousands of different simulations, they discovered that the mass has to be 32.8 billion solar masses, making this one of the top 10 most massive black holes ever found, with the size of the event horizon being very similar to TON 618 at approximately 1300 astronomical units, way past the orbit of Pluto and nearly 10 times as far away as the Voyager probes, and also almost at that absolute limit of what the scientists believe supermassive black holes should be, which is actually about 50 billion solar masses.